Investigating hostile intentions.
This must be the place Ortiz mentioned. Hard to fathom a lab in those caves. Whoa. Commander, hold up a moment. Are you hearing this? It's some manner of distress signal. Encrypted. One of Auntie's, I'm certain, but this one ain't entirely familiar to me. Can't unless you have an Auntie's Choice patented codebreaker on your person. Reckon we'll need to find the signal's source. If it's not to do with the lab, I'll be damned. We should press on. Got something that needs doing, Commander?
Proceeding to attack.
What in the void? Law, I think I've seen enough death to fill 3 lifetimes. And it don't get any easier. What happened here? He spent his last moments crawling over to this terminal from the wreck. Sorry, friend. Wait. He's got a code breaker on him. Let's see. I'll be damned. That powered up the elevator. Signal's stronger than ever now. These poor bastards must have been responding to it same as us. This must be the...
Hello? Is anyone there? I have been signaling for help incessantly. Come quickly. I'm trapped in my office, by the foyer. The others, I fear they might have lost their lives at the hands, claws of escaped beasts.
That's him. That must be the doctor. He's got no idea an entire squad died trying to fly in here and save his sorry ass.
That's assuming he'd care. I'd give that roughly a 1 out of 10 chance.
What's... Hola! Ortiz? No. No, it ain't him. I thought... Commander, help me make sense of this.
Uh-huh. Now I extra want to kill this scientist.
I had a notion of what I might encounter here. Test tubes, records, some graphs kept on ice, but not this. Law. My heart just about stopped when I saw him. I thought Ortiz had come back, gotten himself in trouble, but no. This man, whoever he is, he's been dead for a time. 2 weeks. Law. And he's just being kept here. Not even a proper burial, just treated like a thing. Void, damn it. This poor man. The test subjects. Ortiz. All of them are dead. All of them left in ruin by the butchers running this place. All of them could have been me. I ain't going to merrily step over these corpses just because I got mine. All that matters now is finding that doctor. He's got a reckoning coming. My aim's steady, if that's your concern. I'm sorry. I'll be fine once we breathe fresh air again. Just need this to be over. Ain't keen to chat, Commander. I gotta find that doctor.
Over here! These beasts have me pinned down! Handle them straight away, please! I cannot let my genius be wasted here!
Boy, damn coward. We'll see how you beg when we're face to face. What wretched work. Poor creatures ain't got an idea what's in store. Oh, law. Wasn't keen on seeing a fight between them.
Eyes up. I spy them.
Filters positive. Turn me towards a fire.
Release me at once, please. I'm so worried that nobody intercepted my distress signal.
Oh, we got his signal, all right. Let's get the bastard.
I'd offer to bet on how this turns out, but I'm afraid the act might throw off my equations.
I thought there wasn't a person alive who could best the matriarch Ursapod. Yet, here you are. What a show!
You the doctor in charge here?
Indeed I am, soldier. And my, what a picture you are! What exquisite graft work. Might I trouble you for an examination?
So you're the one who butchered my friend, Ortiz. The one who tortured those creatures out there. Who killed that soldier.
What's going on? I don't know any Ortiz, I swear it. I'm just a doctor. Please, don't shoot. Records? I don't know of any such... Oh, bother. Fine, yes, I did complete a procedure on one Trooper Ortiz, along with 2 others. He eagerly offered himself up for this project's first human trials. Rather hasty in hindsight. I know what you're thinking. Yes, the grafting program was officially shuttered 6 months ago. That was not a lie. But I thought it a shame, and it seems I wasn't alone in that. I was recruited for this unofficial venture soon after. Don't understand the need for secrecy myself, but our sponsor demanded it. I dared not ask too many questions. He's some manner of executive. I don't know his name or official title, I swear. My orders came down the long chain of command. I'm only doing what I was told.
Enough with the excuses. You absolute wretch. Any scientist with any shred of decency would have refused your position. Your precious data is nothing compared to those you killed.
I sympathize with your friend, soldier. Truly, I do. But if I mourned every failure within these walls, I might never operate again. You must understand that the work we do here is greater than any one life. We can change the galaxy for the better. Enough with the threats of violence. Listen here, if you choose to brutalize me, all of my research and knowledge will be gone. Forever. The suffering you've seen here will be nothing in comparison to the suffering I could prevent. Do you truly want to be the one to stand in the way of progress? It's been a long time coming, but I believe I've laid the groundwork for treating injury and illness far better than modern medicine can manage. You see, I'm only here because I conceived of a device to keep my lungs operational. Without it, I'd be laying repose in an iron lung. This is just the start of what we may build. We are on the precipice of regrowing limbs that had been lost in accidents, reversing brain trauma, nerve damage, mayhaps aging one day. It would be a boon to humanity, and a boon to Auntie's bottom line.
Don't even start, Commander. I ain't keen on anything this man sells.
Let's not be hasty. I see your graft is a result of revision surgery. Your first go was botched, and you were considered a failure of the program, yes? I know what happened to those failures. Demoted, disgraced. It was horrible business. And yet, you still wear our colors. You want to reclaim your station, don't you?
You don't know anything about what I want. I'm not sure I should. If I accept such a bribe, what does that make me? Whether I want to regain my position or not doesn't matter. I don't want your help. I will not benefit from the pain of others.
You think there were no victims of the first program? That your existence isn't built off the bones of those who came before? You're no more righteous than I. You simply looked away. Now, if you stay your hand, I will grant you 2 state-of-the-art grafting parts. They cannot fail. Install one of them, and you'll see my earnest intent. You were never the broken thing they made you, soldier. If you wish it, you may still become a most extraordinary specimen.
No. Stop talking. Stay there. Don't make any stupid moves, understand? The adults need to have a talk over here. Commander, I don't know what to do. I came here intending to make him pay for what he's done. And I can't shake the reasons I've seen to burn this place to the ground. But what if he's right? What if something in his work is worth saving? What if this is my chance to make something of my life? To be accepted again? I think you have the right of it. You felt that rage with me, Commander, back there in the lab with the soldier. Even now, we can see what could have been. I trust you more than anyone, I think. The fact you're of the same mind only bolsters my inclination. Now, I ain't condoning what happened here. I won't disrespect Ortiz or the other victims as such. But if we continue this research, know that it cannot, must not be like this. We can trust Doc Tinsley to set things right. One can only know goodness if they're led by example. But if this doctor doesn't take direction, we'd only be repeating the cycle. We would be complicit. Law knows the folk hurt by the war could use the help. That's something I ain't lost sight of. I know Ortiz wouldn't have either. It's your lucky day. You'll live. Pack up your things and head straight to Fairfield to Doc Tinsley. You want to continue your work, you'll follow her lead.
Thank you, soldier. Thank you. I won't forget this, I swear. I'll unlock the cases for you now, as promised. Take the graphs you like, and let me know how they work out, won't you?
Make no mistake, I ain't doing this for my own gain. If you say you can help other folk, you best deliver on that promise. Let's get out of here before I change my mind. I need some time to think, Commander. We'll speak later, yeah?
I lifted the lab out of lockdown. You are free to leave. Just gathering my belongings. I'll head to Fairfield post-haste.
Is this the cub that Terminal mentioned? Still breathing, but only just. We were too late for the soldier back there, but not too late for this cub. We should help. Think we should make for Fairfield for the grafting lab. These 2 parts I got, I'm keen to investigate. Maybe one could be a match for me. Any advantage could help us at this point. And maybe I can bend the doc's ear for a moment or two. If anyone can help me make sense of what happened with Rasmussen, it's her. I need answers. So how about it? Thank you, Commander. I apologize for having us run about like this, but I just ain't been feeling right since the lab. Like there's an itch just beneath the skin. I'm just hoping something will put me right again. Got a lot on my mind, but I can make time. Sure. Got someone in... Fine by me.
Future's filled me with dread for so long, but now... Can't believe I'm actually starting to be excited about what might come after all this is done. Oh yeah? What's needed?
What do you need, Commander?
Such as?
If you would. Commander, I'm glad I managed to intercept you before we left. There's something of utmost importance I wish to discuss. I received a message from a close friend of mine, Virgil. He was my co-protege under the Supreme Arbiter. His message claimed he had information relevant to the Supreme Arbiter's death. He wishes to meet with me at the Vox Relay on Paradise Island. You asked before, and I did not mention it, but with Virgil's message, I now must warn you. Our greatest suspect in the Supreme Arbiter's murder is the Protectorate's consul. Our mentor always disdained him thoroughly, and he our mentor. If anyone would have had reason to slay her, it would have been him. But we have needed evidence. Evidence that I believe Virgil now possesses. I would gladly give my life for his without hesitation, and he for mine. We are brothers beyond blood. It has been some time since the two of us last crossed paths, but little shall have changed between us. Of this, I have no doubt. If there is one person throughout all of Arcadia who I can presently trust, it is Virgil. He too seeks the perpetrator of the Supreme Arbiter's death, and he too supports the Sovereign over all else. And that's without mentioning our lifelong friendship. It was actually his suggestion we divide and conquer. As our operational philosophies differ ever so slightly, this seemed a good plan. Virgil often prefers to watch rather than act, and was often lenient with sentencing where I was not. This behavior was often criticized by the Supreme Arbiter, but there have been occasional rare instances where treating a subject with mercy ultimately resulted in better behavior. It is a novel, albeit strange, philosophy. The onset of war has tested my previously held notions most thoroughly, but an arbiter holds to their values. I believe Virgil feels the same. Whatever the case, Virgil awaits us on Paradise Island, Commander. I hope we shall find time to go there. I hope Virgil has been doing well since last I saw him. Well, we shall find out together. Certainly. I consider myself an open tome. Virgil and I are just as close as any blood-related set of individuals. He is a true and able ally, one to be relied upon in almost any circumstance. We make extremely effective compatriots. Where I am swift to action, Virgil often contemplates his deeds before they come to pass. I fear this war favors myself more than him. It's a shame there may only be one Supreme Arbiter. I would enjoy continuing to work beside Virgil. But alas, it is not to be.
Give Auntie 2 bits, and she'll give you some new blitz. Give Auntie
All these rifts got everyone riled up, including me.
People think I got a jug from the saloon because I'm 3 sheets to the wind.
You can't spell heinous ascetic without Auntie.
Ah, Inez. Have you come back for a tune-up? I've got just the injection for that. Freezes those pesky muscles right back into place.
No, yeah, a tune-up sounds good. I actually brought a few other grafting parts with me, if you reckon my arm can handle a stitch or two.
Oh, these are pristine indeed. Is this of an ursopod? My, I haven't seen one of those in many years. Oh, and a mantis swarm hive. The hunting must be good wherever you ran off to.
Yeah, you could say that. Since Doc's given her blessing, which do you reckon I go with? The ursopod's mucus gland could absorb some incoming damage, if you don't mind getting a little sticky. The mantis swarm hive, however, would be best for crowd control. Say the word, and I'll sick these little guys on any enemy in our vicinity. I'm intrigued by either option, really. Hive it is. Just refrain from any buzzing jokes.
Oh, the mantis swarm is a wonderful choice. Hold still, dear. There. I dare say you won't be needing any tune-ups in the near future, but I do trust you'll find an excuse to come by for the occasional visit. By the by, where did you find these parts? What is it, dear? You look, well, a bit like you've been stung by a terror ray. I've got ointment for that too, you know. Whatever do you mean? The program was shut down more than 6 months ago. Any further funding would be in direct violation of Auntie's orders.
It was off the books, Doc. We found a grafting lab way out on Cloister, still operational. Law. I ain't seen horrors like that in my life. They were brutalizing folk and creatures, paying them no mind, giving them no honor even if they succumbed to the process. The doctor there, he killed a friend of mine. And you're telling me you knew nothing of it?
Inez, I swear I didn't. That sounds... Oh, Sovereign's mercy, that sounds precisely like what I would protest with every breath.
The creatures they were experimenting on broke out of their cages, killed most of the staff. But you know what's worse? Keeping a dead soldier's body on display. Like a thing. I found the doctor in charge, still alive. We spoke briefly, and I allowed him to live. On the condition that he redeems himself and uses his research for good. But this ain't the extent of it, I fear. I need to find out who's responsible for all this.
Oh, Inez, I know you do. But with the program officially shuttered, it would be awfully difficult to ascertain which individual has the pockets to fund such a... Wait. Yes, that does shed light on a correspondence I received recently. A vice president sent a message asking for my presence and scientific expertise to discuss a unique opportunity. I found the secrecy odd at the time, but I do suppose it lines up with your discovery.
Ain't surprising. What's his name? Where can we find him?
His name is Willard Conan, VP of Experimental Operations. The very man who was in charge of the grafting program at its inception. He's... Oh, I know that look. If you mean to do something, I beg you.
I just mean to have a little chat. I will be asking Willard to reform the grafting program. You heard from Dr. Rasmussen, right? I spared him and his research for this purpose. If there's good to be had from the program, then Willard needs to invest in that good. And you're my first choice to lead the new program.
You honor me. I did receive a message from a Rasmussen, yes. He is on his way with research to hand over to me. But I will help you. Vice President Conan's office is aboard the Undisputed Claim, the flagship of Auntie's choice. I do not know where exactly, as I've never been, but it's my understanding that you will need to present this calling card to gain entry. Inez, what you are doing is noble, and I wish you the greatest of successes.
Thank you, Doc. Now, you get those grafting tools ready, because I ain't intending to fail. We got the intel we need, Commander. The Undisputed Claim's our destination. If we find this Willard and convince him to use this grafting research for folks' betterment, well then, all this hurt we've seen will have counted for something. Go ahead. Tell me what ails ya.
Stop right there, Arbiter Rao. Though I am here on official business, I would prefer to keep this cordial. The Consul seeks answers related to your recent activities. I approach you openly in the hopes that you will comply with his request and come with me peaceably.
What do you blather about? Delay me and you will pay the price. Not only do I have more pressing business with a colleague, but I do not answer to Sentinels or the Consul.
His loss. I heard Auntie's in the market for a big, dumb, winsome bodyguard. He'd be paid handsomely in spratwurst and backhanded compliments.
Your friend is wise. I constructed the message that drew you here. Virgil shall not be arriving. I recommend you lay down your weapons.
Virgil's not coming, you say? Curious. And here I was thinking I was already present.
Virgil! Touting your flair for the dramatic, even now, I see. But I fear our reunion must wait until we've dealt with this pawn of the console.
I had not expected a third party, but it is so much the better. I'm afraid you must come with me as well, Arbiter Montag.
A sentinel demanding anything of me? What madness! Neither Tristan nor I shall accompany you anywhere. Any attempts to force us shall be met with violent reprisal. I'm sure he only told you such a thing to lower your guard. All the easier to slide a blade between your ribs. This fool impersonated my credentials, triggering a system alert that led me here. A lowly deception, even for one of the consul's own.
It was a necessary deception, and one not undertaken lightly. Its aim was to draw your colleague here without bloodshed, for I know he would not have arrived at my request.
Your explanation does not pull my heartstrings, Sentinel. Yet you at least had the sense not to assail us outright. Surrender, and perhaps you may yet live.
You may not believe me, but I have much admiration for the work you and Arbiter Montag have done for the Protectorate. I've no wish to fight. Enough loyal subjects have died in this war. Come willingly and peaceably, I beseech you. Both Arbiter Rao and Arbiter Montag were explicitly requested to return to Praetor by the Consul, alongside all other Arbiters some months ago. Refusal without reason is treasonous.
And I'm sure that if we went, we would have been returned whole, neither interrogated nor mentally refreshed. As if your master's nefarious agenda would allow that.
I've no inkling of what you speak. My only master is the Protectorate. My only agenda, the return of peace throughout Arcadia.
Very well. But be warned, I'm not exactly trained in the art of improvisation. We'll need a very good reason for my not answering the consul's summons.
You don't look like a scientist.
I'm sure you've heard the rumors that our foodstuffs have been 2% less nutritious than in the past. We seek to rectify this most worrisome factoid.
I see. It would appear I misjudged this situation after all. I must reinterpret my orders. Accosting you illegally and the subsequent punishment would be mortifying.
So he's chosen not to attack, but the situation has not changed. We spare him. His master gains another tool to cover up the Supreme Arbiter's death.
What are you talking about? I do not seek to hide the Supreme Arbiter's death. I seek to find her killer. Such was next on my list of duties after I apprehended you.
We don't. We never should have started speaking with him in the first place. This is all clearly a tactic on the Consul's behalf. By sending out his agents, he seeks to deflect suspicion from himself. That is, if our compatriot here speaks true.
What must you think of me, or my fellow Sentinels, that you'd even suggest I'd lie to Arbiters? I'm not the one positing scurrilous accusations about our beloved Consul, but you needn't take me at my word. My next assignment was to investigate the Oculus collating post. A hidden room there may contain information pertinent to the investigation. I cannot speak to its purpose, only that it is strange and worthy of investigation.
Or it is yet another falsity, intended to draw us close before snapping our necks.
It's a risk worth taking. I can endure whatever the Consul sends my way, and if there is a minuscule chance that this Sentinel speaks true, we must investigate.
I'm pleased to be of service, in some manner or another. Protectorate subjects should aid one another. If you had not interrupted me, I would have committed a terrible injustice upon my brethren. If I am to be punished for my failing, I will suffer the consequences head high. I will take my leave of the lot of you, and in peace. It is my sincere hope that circumstances are as you claim, lest we be forced to meet again.
I shall follow him out, just to certify he intends to act as he speaks. That's done with. He left peaceably, as he said, though I have my doubts for how long.
That was some impressively savvy improvisation before, Commander. Without you, circumstances would have certainly devolved into a battle to the death.
I'll spare you my doubts for the umpteenth time, Tristan. I just hope the risk is worthwhile.
I appreciate your caution, but it is quite unnecessary. My comrade and I will look into Oculus collating post. Yes, but never for long, and it's been many years. I also have no recollection of any hidden room, so we may have some hunting to do. I regret we've not had more time to talk, Virgil. It has been ages.
Worry not. I'm certain we'll have plenty of time to converse when you've finished your investigation. I have several leads of my own to pursue, as a matter of fact. Until our paths cross again, my friend. I shall make certain no other puppets of the Consul yet seek us. On you.
I've only visited Oculus collating post a handful of times, and that was long before its deprecation. But something is to be found there. I'm sure of it. Certainly. Speak freely.
End the universe. The other universe-ending thing. Back at Winter's Grasp, I found someone was continuing Anais, Sir Bujold's research. Believe I have a lead on their identity. I wholly agree. I pieced together information from earlier leading to Golden Ridge on Dorado. Oddly enough, to the anchor hold at Matriarch's Mercy Monastery. I had Val set the location on our map. I recognize we're juggling multiple crises, but I'd suggest we journey there sooner than later. Did you need something?
Can I bend your ear a moment? Been doing some thinking about what happened in the lab. I went there to kill that man for what he did to Ortiz, and instead let him walk away with his research. Didn't realize till I saw the lab what a fool I was. All for thinking that company folk gave a damn about each other. Even so, I still reckon we got a real shot of making things better. Auntie's choice can't be trusted on their own with this research, that's clear. But if someone like me were to guide them, maybe they can be shaped into what I thought they were. If they could actually help folk like they claimed they would when they liberated Tau Ceti, it'd make life better for anyone. Elsewise, there'll only be more victims in their wake. Ain't just saying that, are you? Ortiz sent me a message because he knew I would take action, that I'd remedy the betrayal both of us faced. If he were here now, he'd understand, I think. Are you with me? Thanks, Commander. Maybe this is what folk mean by the architects setting things in motion. If I hadn't broken my contract, I wouldn't be here. Maybe proving myself was never the intention. Maybe this is what I was meant to do. Let's just see what Willard's got to say, all right? Got a lot on my mind, but I can make time. Sure. Got fine by me.
Whatever you need, Commander. Just name it. Oh, yeah? What's neat? If it ain't my favorite command, always up for a little back fence. Sure thing. I trust.
I recall this place. These stations have been automated since my day, though this one has certainly accrued dust. Odd that it would be in a state of lockdown. I have a general override that should allow us entry, but anything specific to local systems, including security systems, may be beyond me. What in places? These security measures should not be operational. And the station seems to be on reserve power. We best tread carefully. Well, no one is here, lying in ambush. Perhaps some stray systemic error activated the entryway defenses. We'd best first report to security ops, lift this lockdown. From there, we can set about reactivating the station's primary power, which will allow us to explore unhindered. Is that a footprint in the dust? This station shouldn't have received visitors in years. Be on guard. Someone else may be here. My passcode shall not work on this terminal. Unlocking it may be a creative endeavor. Good effort lifting the lockdown. We may now reactivate the station in the reactor room. Reactor activation circuits shall likely be dysfunctional. It's a known issue with these old stations. Let me look. Corroded transistors, dust in the actuator. Did a sprat gnaw on this? Sweet sovereign, what a mess. There. I think I have it. Let us hope my override does not trigger any security alerts. Good. This should avail us of a much simpler search. Let us return to the central room once more and see...
Taking punitive action!
Be wary for anything that may be a clue as to the hidden room's location.
I cannot say I have had to search for a hidden switch in a protectorate holding before. Keep watch. It could be rather small and well hidden.
There. I'm certain of movement below. Gird yourself with determination. For it seems I was correct about another body being here.
Passcode is limber. No. Let's try amulet. No. Wingtip. No. Sovereign's gavel. I should remember this. Damn it. Ambergris can't be it. That's too short for a facility like this. Wait. Oh, no.
Of the strategies of feigning innocence I have seen, this is certainly the most pathetic. I accuse you of trespassing upon the private domain of the Sovereign. For these crimes... Wait, I know you. Luther Okada? What in blazes are you doing here? And why do you wear a Sub Rosa uniform?
Because I work for Sub Rosa? More than that, I don't think I can say, Cadet Rao. Mostly because I'm not supposed to, but also because I can't remember.
Okada is, or was, a petty troublemaker. though a crafty one. As cadets, Virgil and I apprehended him often. Sometimes Virgil let him go, but he usually went to mental refreshment.
Often enough to know the technicians by name. Until I forgot them again.
This truly is no ploy. But mental refreshment is supposed to return wayward subjects to the proper path, not cause whatever this is. Despite his faults, the Okada I knew was ultimately benign. But the fact remains that he now trespasses in a secure facility. Duty dictates that I must execute him. That's a wise path. One that shall give me time to contemplate what must be done.
An Arbiter used the word execute in the last few seconds, yet I remain alive? Didn't think that was possible. I was sent here to do a specific job, but some of the details are hazy. Gives me conniptions. I was hired by an anonymous third party. They provided me with the station's location and credentials to bypass its defenses. May have tripped a few on my way here. Can't recall. I was told the station was abandoned, which it clearly isn't, and to break into this terminal and delete the information on it. That is all I know. Well, I'm surprised too. This used to be second nature. Now I'm nothing.
Ignorance does not excuse criminal action. Even if you did not know the severity of this infiltration, it remains a deadly serious infraction.
He and the other one must have put me away close to 12 times each. I used to be something of a ne'er-do-well.
Ne'er-do-well is a polite term. He was a repeat malefactor. I believe last time we met, he'd vandalized a janitorial automech in an attempt to make it spew profanity.
I got 18 months of hard labor for that. Served me right.
As much as I prefer not to admit it, you may be right. Whoever hired him must not have known about his addled mind. They were moving quickly, desperately.
I didn't used to be like this. I can still sneak with the best of them. Not being able to remember doesn't make me any worse as an agent. It doesn't!
Any of my fellow arbiters would have killed you before this conversation began. But I can't decide whether to disdain or pity you. I don't know that I can. He is a trespasser. His slipping mind matters not. You have my trust. But if I am to remain loyal to my morals, I must be convinced. My duty dictates it. Killing Okada may not affect the one who hired him, but his trespass is an indelible fact. He should not be here. It is no mere technicality. It is law. How can I be trusted to maintain my role if I choose to uphold some of the Sovereign's laws while ignoring others? Were the situation different, perhaps I could look the other way. But Okada has clearly defected, and is thus not afforded such a luxury. I am familiar with the concept, but in the Protectorate, intent matters little. Manslaughter still results in death. Sedition can happen unconsciously, just as it may consciously. We are presented with the rules by our leaders. If the rules are not there, we are not to follow them. That is how I was taught. Though this is hardly the place for a discussion about Protectorate law, I do at least see your point. It is fortunate you have gained my trust, for I would not bend to one who had not. Justice must serve a purpose. Okada may live, and I hope we shan't regret it. Be gone. You've been granted your final stay of execution. Should our paths ever cross again, you know what will occur.
I didn't think this would happen. Thank you, Cadet Rao. My apologies for all the strife I caused over the years. And you. Without you, I would have been reduced to my composite parts. Here, take these. I suppose you'll have more use for them than I, in my present state.
Allowing a Sub Rosa agent to leave with his life in the heart of a protectorate station. We may have to speak on this further. But let us see what we came here for first. The hint pertaining to the passcode on that terminal, I believe I know the answer. It is contained in a phrase the Supreme Arbiter drilled into our heads for many years. An Arbiter's gavel is judgment, and an Arbiter's scalpel is analysis. Try entering that. From that terminal, it sounds as if the Supreme Arbiter had some sort of business with the Consul. To what end, I wonder? The tone of her response seemed relaxed, but I do not believe she would have met with the Consul unless she had no other choice. And that feckless agent. I don't understand his aim or who he would be working for. Only the Consul. But the Protectorate does not ally itself with Sub Rosa. I couldn't imagine the Consul pinning his duties on someone so clearly out of sorts as our recently departed friend. Besides, he has his own agents. Well, at least we found what we needed on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I only hope whatever awaits us at Central Control is less tumultuous. As for Okada, I'm not sure what to think. My decision to allow him to go free was at odds with all I have been taught. He was a traitor and should have died. Yet, I cannot help but feel strangely justified. But he was acting against the Protectorate, even if he didn't know it. How can I act as an arbiter of justice if I allow a traitor a reprieve? Objectively to whom? Damn it! Forget this. Forget it all. I can't allow any specter of doubt to creep into my decisions. Let us list this incident as a fluke and move on. Altogether, I think visiting this station was fruitful for my ultimate task. Hopefully, we'll grow ever closer to discovering the Supreme Arbiter's true killer. And, circumstances aside, I appreciate your accompanying me here, Commander. It means much. Now let us return to the incognito and plan out our next steps. Bending my ear? I hope you intend to point me towards someone in need of judgment. Speak freely. Certainly. It would appear our next stop is Praetor, specifically Central Control. I look forward to traveling there, once you've sufficiently prepared. Potentially. In the past, the locale was shared equally between us Arbiters and the Consul Sentinels. However, considering the traitors crawling throughout the rest of Arcadia, I fear what duplicity the Consul may have wrought at Central Control. No. The Sentinel worked on the Consul's behalf. I do note that the agent was an odd wrinkle, but that still does not fly in the face of what I believe. Excellent. I look forward to it. Why would the Supreme Arbiter have met with the Consul? Ah, no use speculating. We'll know soon enough.
We took what nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered it through artificial...
You look befuddled. Or perhaps that's just your normal expression.
110% wholly plus artificial.
If you have business here, don't let me keep you.
Our guiding principle. Enjoy an artificially of unavoidable embedded chemicals with Auntie's choice.
Never thought I'd be able to see the undisputed claim in all her glory. Visiting was invite only for us troopers, and even then, you had to pay a month's salary to secure entry. Would have been worth every bit, though.
It's high time one of you scientist types responded to my calling cards. The position's been open for more than 2 days, and already productivity is tanked by 149.4%. You want the role, it's yours, but I'm not budging on those hourly rates.
Let me guess. You're backfilling Rasmussen's position? Or all the scientists who work with him on Cloister lying cold on the lab floor?
Both, obviously. Unless you mean to tell me a graft like yours can install itself. Now, do you want the job or not? We're burning starlight. It's no mystery. Soon as an employee is reported missing, dead, or out sick 2 hours in a row, their name is read aloud in the daily demotions report.
The one delivered by Auntie? Everyone tunes into that. Most folk would do anything to have their names spoken by her.
Not in this context. Maybe someday we can bottle that kind of schadenfreude and sell it at a premium. Decent? I'll have you know that profits were forecast to be in the billions in my assessment last quarter.
That's not what we're talking about. Look, we found your lab on Cloister. A friend of mine who succumbed to his graft sent me there to put an end to your work. It was, well, it was damn troubling. But after speaking with your doc, I came to see that the program's got much potential. If we shift focus, reform our work, grafts could better the lives for all folk. Rasmussen's now with Doc Tinsley in Fairfield, and they're ready to restart this work if we can get your agreement. No more killing, much more progress. What do you say?
I see someone failed out of the anti-Cleo School of Persuasion. Why would I ever pursue something so dull as reform? How does it serve me? You certainly came to the negotiating table prepared, but there is one small fly in the soup. Who exactly are you to dictate to me what we should be doing? I did not even know your name before you stepped through this door.
When I joined up in Tau Ceti, I was promised that if I proved myself, demonstrated exceptionalism, the moment would come where I could make a pitch for my own future. I helped hunt down the fiend who destroyed our base on Golden Ridge, fought off countless protectorate besides. So yeah, I'd say the moment I'm owed has arrived.
Fine. Perhaps there is an opportunity here to expand our user base. But we can only pursue such a thing if we secure the funding. I could approach my business partner to this end, but I will require proof that this little reformation of yours is a viable investment. As such, you need to prove that a grafted trooper can achieve what the average one cannot.
You say that as though you have something in mind.
I do. The commander of our fortified position on Praetor has been chomping at the bit for a show of force. to rally the troops in our market share, so to speak. He will have all the minute details, of course, but assisting him and demonstrating your prowess will give us the leverage we need. Is this one having a laugh? Of course it'll be dangerous. Were it not, we would have dragged some poor bottom-runger bastard in to get the job done by now. Law knows there's enough to choose from. This here is a golden cysty pig of an opportunity. One that will reap rewards far beyond the buying price, consistently, every time we are hungry for a victory. It's a wonder you know the direction in which to point your weapon. Am I glad you aren't going into the battle alone? And I'm certain it'll be no issue. What with our grafted star tearing through the battlefield, leaving blood and terror in her wake.
Grafted soldiers aren't animals. I should think an executive of your stature would have an understanding of such.
Of course I do. But you cut quite the imposing figure. We'd be fools not to play it up so folk acquire full understanding of your advantages. Much like a sprat cowering rightfully in the jaws of a raptidon does.
They only have that understanding if they also have sense. Most sprats don't. They wander happily to their deaths in search of the smallest, richest morsels.
I could tell you possessed a modicum of business sense. Head to Praetor. I'll send a reporter with camera drones to meet you there and debrief with our ground forces.
Hold on. You didn't say anything about this being filmed.
Heroism is nothing without exciting footage and a talking head to sell it to the masses. So do make sure you put on a good show. Off you go, then. I haven't heard any news regarding the mission on Praetor. Time is of the essence, so get a move on.
Feels like I got some hydromina fluttering around in my stomach, Commander. Not literally. You know what I mean. Willard's clearly got a lot riding on how we do on Praetor. I ain't keen on having so few details for a mission. For anyone who ain't us, I'd say it's a surefire path toward failure. Reckon that's my way of saying I'd like to find out what exactly is in store for us. Sooner rather than later. Go ahead. Tell me what ails ya.
Oh, I'll take a deferral on that one. Kind of you to offer, I think. I just need a little downtime. Running about causes all sorts of aches and pains, as you can imagine. Some realer than others. Don't worry, though. I'll be ready when you need me. Ironically, it's sitting or standing still that hurts most. All the fluids sort of pool. Guessing I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, though. My stump shrinker? Yeah, it's not bad at reducing swelling, helping with circulation and such. Won't say it's the most comfortable thing to wear, but it gets the job done. Ah, well, Zeb got it for me. Done my best to keep it in good shape. No idea where I'd get another one if I lost it. I appreciate that, but in truth, ain't much you could have done, really. Not early on, anyway. Took some time for me to regain my balance and learn how to shift with the prosthetic. Won't lie, it was discouraging at first. Felt like I'd never be at home in my body again. Me too. I'll add I'm not awarding either of them any medals in bedside manner, but probably I needed them pushing me more than any hand-holding. I also thought, at least in those first few years, that you might be out there somewhere too. That maybe, against all odds, you survived. Kept me going, that hope. Wait, Commander. Before you head off, how are you faring? Good. I'm glad to hear it. But you don't need to play the stoic if it ain't true. I was thinking to myself just now, here you are checking in on me, but you must be feeling some kind of way about all of this too. Waking up 10 years from the time you knew, in a hostile colony at war, and with apocalypse on the horizon? Figured that for a given. I won't pry any further, but if you ever need to talk, or if you have a sudden, burning desire to learn about, I don't know, fuselage maintenance, I'll be here.
Need some time on my own for a bit, Commander. We can talk more later if you want.
What? Sorry. Caught me lost in my upper story.
Such as?
What? Sorry. Who exactly?
So many dead. Places.
If we compare
The grand plan is the predetermined order to the entire.
Oh, I didn't expect us to wander into the scene of a murder, but somehow I'm not entirely surprised. Anomalous events have a way of spreading, multiplying. We should find a way inside. There might be clues to what happened, and where Anais's research is now. The information I uncovered noted that there were 2 anchorites sealed in that room to study and debate uninterrupted. I'd suspect the missing anchorite knows something, at least. We should ask her. Might be some signs in there of where she went. The terminal at Winter's Grasp said Anais' work was sent here. Keep an eye out for that, too. Yes, Commander. May the plan... I've had a chance to look around. You seem like you've done a thorough sweep. We should discuss what we've uncovered. Poor thing. Blunt force trauma to the occipital lobe, I believe. Possible signs of an altercation. Might have been an accident. Might not have been. Hard to say with just a superficial glance. At the very least, her cloistermate Anchor's Brunn has some explaining to do. A disputation of current order methodology focuses mainly on our presiding bishop, but saves ample room for the Laureate Council and previous regime as well. I believe I got the gist by efficiently skimming. The general concern is that the order has lost its way. My old department is repeatedly mentioned in a favorable light. Anais' work is regarded highly. I saw that. I believe it was Anchoress Chow's diary. Spoke about regular visits by an exemplar Southworth, who requested access to Anais' work. Chow seemed worried they were conspiring about something. That they'd mentioned an old order research station. That old research facility seems the most likely spot to look next. I know the coordinates on Eden, placed by the name of Point Obviation. I don't know what happened to Anchoress Chow, but leaving a body behind is suspicious. And the disputation reads like a call to arms for any fringe thinkers in the Order. There's no destroying the copies at this point, I'm afraid. We're past that. The research is out there. We need a way to keep anyone from taking it up further in the future. If we go in guns blazing from here, it will only continue. We need a plan to annihilate the idea. I've seen it happen. Things can take on a life of their own at a certain point. The more overt the response, the more unexpected the outcomes. We developed tactics at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection to minimize unforeseeable consequences. We can discuss once we see the situation on the ground. Yes, time to seek out Anchoress Brunn. Agent, what do you need? May all...
Halt! Don't know who you all are, but unexpected guests are categorically unwelcome here. How'd you even find this place? Maybe I should just shoot you and glean details from your logs.
Ah, Exemplar, if I may. Surely you recognize such a notable member of our cohort, Marisol Delgado. The end point?
I can't recall if I ended whoever came up with that name. Surely hope so.
You were head causality intercessor of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection, right up till the end, correct?
More or less.
Well, what a fortuitous alignment of low probability events this is. Our efforts here are based on your former department. You should confer with Anchoress Brunn straight away.
We actually sought to find you and others of your program, Intercessor Delgado. A serendipitous event, you arriving. Assuming you'll vouchsafe for your colleagues, you may all proceed. You'll find Wilhelmina up the lift, 4th floor.
Welcome to Point Obviation.
Anchoress Brunn is up the lift, 4th floor.
Welcome.
Anchoress Brunn is continuing Anais' research from Winter's Grass. I'm sure of it. Best play along for now, until we can ascertain the best course of action.
Things well guarded. Let's not make any sudden moves. Unless, you know, we want to fight.
Everyone! It's the endpoint. Come to join us, I take it.
I do have a unique interest in what you all are doing here.
I am a longtime vocal exponent of your work. Intercessor Delgado. Hope you don't mind me saying. Go on up. You're expected.
Doubt the Anchoress will walk away from the research lightly. May require some aggressive convincing.
Oh, who's this? Aha! You're that Earth Directorate agent who's been stirring up all sorts of trouble. I have been brushing up on events of late and have become avidly familiar with your actions. A true anomalous outlier you are. I understand you allowed Seer Wiley to go free, yes? Once was a time I would have made that exact same decision. And you're Marisol Delgado. We've never met somehow, but I've read your file. An impressive body of work, though often quite mortiferously inclined.
Less so over time. There were too many pesky repercussions I came to find.
Yes, well, to what do we owe the pleasure? Are you familiar with our goals? Come to join up, perhaps, or should I say re-enlist? Surely you're aware of the myriad errors of our current presiding bishop and previous regime. One of whom shut down the division that operated here, the other squandered it. Our sect aims to end human suffering, sooner than later. We've taken great inspiration from your former department, from their methods and their science. To solve the universal equation in our lifetime requires bold action, clever calculation, and assiduous work. Yes, we have Grace, that is Exemplar Southworth, to thank for that. Her visits to the anchor hold were quite thought-provoking, as was the research she showed me from Sia Bujold. Bujold's thinking was unconventional, ahead of her time. Why, in fact, she's here with us now today, overseeing an experiment that proves her researcher's theories.
Really? Sir Bujold is here, at present, in this facility? The one we're presently standing in?
Not long at all. We reached out to her on Cloister. She agreed to join us immediately. If you thought her work before was captivating, wait until you hear the experiment she's overseeing now. The intent is to represent the building blocks of the universe within a test chamber, then extrapolate data revealing the universal equation from the micro-universe that forms.
Sounds like it could change everything, one might say.
Why, you should go see for yourself. As former colleagues, I'm sure you'd like to reacquaint. Go on. I'll call down to let her know you're coming. Yes, she's monitoring the experiment. I'll have elevator access unlocked so you can join her. Do please stay in the observation area, though. The work is quite delicate. We'll speak. Thought you were heading to assist Sir Bujold downstairs.
How much longer do you predict preparations will take?
Almost ready. Perfect timing for my former colleague to peer review my work. I'll press them to verify my settings. Thereupon, we will begin.
Splendid. While others pontificate, we act. I await word of our success with bated breath.
Head Intercessor Delgado, what an opportune time for you to appear. At the perfect moment to assist our experiment.
What in the endless void are you?
Shh. Comms off, but others are near. I need your aid before this ridiculous affair careens into disaster. Can I rely on you this time? Or will you already intend on scurrying away again? The test involves 4 stations. Each represents one of the fundamental building blocks of the universe. Zeranium gas, macro-ivs, nucleons, N-rays. All the usual stuff. That test chamber is where all are meant to mix. To simulate a mini-universe I can apply my theories to, pull data from, and deduce the universal equation in a reduced time frame. We know what happens if that's successful, so I need you to muck with each station's settings, then initiate the experiment. All you need to do is adjust each station's settings slightly. Things will cascade from there. Remember, subtlety is required.
Yes, if we alter the experiment input data in a less than delicate fashion, Brun will notice, I assure you.
The guards on the 2nd floor won't appreciate visitors, so avoid getting spotted. Here's a maintenance key. Head down the vent. Only the fate of the galaxy riding on it, so perhaps try to be careful.
We'll find time for a private word after the mission.
Something wrong back there? Hello?
Threat detected.
Hard to get in a good sleep cycle. These constant permutations upsetting everyone's natural logarithms. Indelibly eradicate algorithmic dissonance. Path to ascendancy is non-linear, so it says in the good textbook. Hard to get into a good sleep cycle. eradicate algorithmic dissonance. P and Q are true if P is true or Q is true. A simple truth table for turbulent times.
I'm no tenured archivist, but that sounds dangerously unstable. Oh well.
Indelibly eradicate algorithmic dissonance. Preceding numbers gives us math that brings us wonders. Define recurrence gets to sequence summation. It's visible, not just from Hamachi. Hard to get in with sleep cycles. These constant permutations upsetting everyone's natural logarithms. Path to ascendancy is non-linear, so it says in a good textbook. P is true or Q is true. A simple truth table for turbulent times. hard to get in a good sleep cycle with these constant permutations upsetting everyone's natural lives.
If you're done, evaluating my work and all settings are final, enter the terminal command to void the oxygen from the test chamber. The experiment will then begin. Void the oxygen on the terminal and the experiment will begin.
Did it work? Did it work? See, Bouchard, was it a success? What happened?
Hold the applause just yet. I need to run the numbers. I'm sending the others back up to you. They can describe the proceedings in detail.
I shall await their arrival. Anchor's Brun out. That is how these messages end, yes? If not, farewell.
The results of the experiment will be a career-ending embarrassment for Anchoress Brun, but she won't accept this lightly. We'll need to do more.
Yes, our next steps here will be crucial. I know this type of mission well. Granted, my targets were always meticulously well-researched beforehand.
You'll need to convince her, destroy her logic, end this research for good. All it requires is a forceful array of incisive argumentation, logical reasoning, coercive persuasion, and cognitive contortioning.
You mean one of our old brain-off maneuvers? Really? That's what the rank and file in our old department used to call it. Provost Bolding considered it a casual moniker unbefitting of an order scientician.
Make Brun give up on science, logic, and reason entirely. Then no one will ever dare continue the research again. Between you and Marisol, it should be a light challenge. Easy.
A brain-off against an Order anchorite isn't entirely without risk. We could employ certain other methods to deal with her. From our former department's playbook.
Oh, yes, a book you wrote titled Making an Execution Look Like an Accident. Despite the moral quandary ideally involved, unseen consequences still abound.
That's hyperbolic at best. Data suggests significantly fewer unpredicted outcomes than outright murder, if properly executed. And I'm quite capable of skewing results in our favor.
And here I thought you'd begun to change. Success isn't guaranteed. A fair degree of cleverness is required. But you would have the help of someone reasonably intellectually nimble.
I would be willing and on hand to assist. And the other option would remain if we botch it.
Marisol knows what she's doing. I vote for murder. I just love watching her work.
Thank you for listening. That's a relief.
Honestly, I'm relieved as well. I have been trying to be different. From the person others believe me to be.
From the legend? If you're retiring as the endpoint, we'll need to find you a colorful new sobriquet. Typical argumentation may prove useless, and she'll likely see through most attempts at deception. Be clever, unpredictable, surprise her. But in the event you should fail, you'll need a viable backup plan, or it will erase any chance of success completely. The Anchoress is housed in a test chamber similar to this one. It's been refurbished with some rather tacky furniture, but much of the old experimental apparatus remains. There is a hatch near the elevator upstairs. An external ledge leads to a vent system that can connect the two chambers. Doing so will expose the Anchoress to a lethal atmosphere. I'll need to make an announcement afterward that an accident has occurred tied into the experiment.
For an extemporaneous plan, it's not a bad one. What if the Anchoress realizes what we're doing and calls for help?
I'll cut off her comms when she begins pleading. Oh, that sounds even more heartless when I say it out loud. Please choose wisely. Here's the hatch key in case you need it. May all your endeavors elicit expected results. Marisol, do keep out of trouble. I'll meet you out on the landing pad. Once
Now's not the time for a tete-a-tete, I'm afraid.
There you are. You saw the experiment through to the end, yes? The data hasn't arrived yet, so please do tell. Was it as beautiful as I imagined? Any inklings to the result? Or perhaps I oughtn't to have recloistered myself till after the experiment concluded, hmm? Well, don't just stand there. Tell me everything. What? No. It couldn't. Wait. Let's start from the beginning. Step me through your understanding of what's gone awry. Really? In what way? Everyone knows probabilistic variance doesn't occur. That's established bedrock. Not that I spend much time in the lab myself. And, well, with science, one is never truly certain. This was just a start. Such models typically make an enormous amount of errors at first. All quite expected. An anticipated setback, nothing more. It simply needs to be revised and refined. You certainly seem to be making a lot out of this, though, one must say. Well, methodologically speaking, I don't see how that could... Oh. That may be true, actually. Look, there may be some validity to some of your points, yes. But we'll improve. We will continue to stride forward. There's absolutely no need for all this doom and gloom. Why, I'm shocked. I'm certainly glad Seer Bujold isn't present to hear such a needlessly provocative and deplorable accusation. There is no call for that sort of meanness in the scientific field. And I can personally attest that it is categorically untrue. Now, is that all? Because I think I've had enough of all this. Everything we've done here is built off Seer Bujold's research, which is quite brilliant. It sounds like you have some expertise in the field and have scrutinized her work quite thoroughly. Mayhap I ought to give it another look. Ah, the experiment data just arrived in my terminal. Allow me to eyeball it a moment. Perhaps there's something here to help prove or disprove any of what you've been saying. There was some variance to the input data. Not far beyond acceptable parameters, but curious. Could explain the failure. Oh, come. One bad test wouldn't mean the science is completely flawed. This has been a difficult conversation. Challenging, disputatious, at times compelling. Yet I remain unswayed.
If I may, I have a point I'd like to add. There's a critical flaw in Seer Bujold's approach I think best illustrated by this English phrase. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. I much appreciate this jest. Very simple, yet clever. Because in English, the word like can mean similar to or I prefer. And flies can be to soar, or plural of the insect. Through this perspective, it functions, makes sense, is humorous even. But in another language where words' meanings differ slightly, it does not. The framework we interpret the statement from changes, thus rendering it uninterpretable. False. Bujold's method of shortcutting the universal equation is much the same.
It lacks context. When you extrapolate the data from the mini-universe to the larger one, the information itself may scale correctly, but fail to interrelate. This little colloquy has proven rather arduous, and your points fail to... Wait. Considered as a whole... Damn it. No, I see it now. You are correct. We have obstinately and misguidedly blundered along here. The flaws in Bujold's research now seem apparent. Time for me to admit my errors. I'll need to inform everyone. Shut down research and operations. What will I do now? There's no place for me. Go. Leave me be.
Our work here is done, it seems.
Fellow scholars of the Order, this is Anchoress Byrne, with an unfortunate announcement. Our experiment today was a failure. Our line of inquiry has proven intrinsically flawed. I became dazzled by bold, captivating ideas and ignored bad science. I am hereby canceling all related research, shuttering the program, and resigning from the Order. If I have any final advice to impart to all of you, it is this: never follow your hearts.
Oh, let's talk later, dear.
P and Q are true. If P is true, or Q is true. A simple truth table for turbulent times.
I understand now why they say never meet your heroes, Intercessor Delgado. You've truly been an enormous disappointment. A key experiment fails and Anchoress Brun abandons vital research right after you and your consort arrive. And we are all to believe these events were unrelated?
That's circumstantial and more than a mite bit paranoid. I expect better from an Order scientician. Even one from the Department of Applied Scientism.
Don't think I don't see your handprints all over this, Delgado. It's her association with that department that has me suspicious here. Suppose you'll claim this was all just coincidence. A misaligned series of mishaps that simply appear to be your fault. You think I'm predisposed to assume their logic is sound and reasoning impeccable? Perhaps I do defer in part where such intellects are involved. Yet, the greater facts of this matter remain unevinced, and I remain unconvinced. An interesting argument. Well, I don't mean to waylay you overlong further. I know you're to blame. I just wanted to see how far you were gonna take this. I can't believe Anchoress Brun fell for any of it. Fellow exemplars of the Order, commence hostilities! The predicted
Oh, look who it is. The legendary former head intercessor of the Order. Another mission successfully completed. Made it through all that without a scratch, hmm? Glad to see. Here's a future I'd always hoped for. You listened. Didn't just rush in like, I am Marisol Delgado. I am always right, even when I'm wrong.
The credit or blame belongs to the commander here. It was their decision, ultimately.
You forget I know you. You always thought you knew better. No one could ever convince you of anything. Before, that is. Good to see. Maybe you are facing yourself.
There are a few things I'm still not used to saying. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Please. And thank you. But thank you, Anais.
At any rate, I'm off. You all take care now. Marisol, don't be too enigmatic or anything. Try. Before I forget. Meant to give you this earlier.
Oh, thank you, Anais. Goodbye. Oh, Brunn obviously murdered her. Thought you knew that. Perhaps it was an accident. Perhaps she simply wanted to knock Chow unconscious so she could sneak away. Or not. Indefinite immurement isn't for everyone. Even the finest minds may crack under the strain. But her canned, feigned concern about Chow, how she kept changing the subject, both belied an underlying sense of guilt to me. Oh, not really. Not yet, at any rate. Everything's a bit raw right now. But suppose I will be. Thank you, dear.
Well, I'm here for you, Marisol. You know, in case you need me to help sow some violence to help you feel better. What are we standing around jawing for?
Best attend to the matter at hand. We can indulge in all sorts of idle talk afterward. Customary to evaluate results after a mission of reasonable significance. Would now be good? I've had some time to cogitate over what occurred at Point Obviation. Some parts don't sit right with me still. Wonder if you and I might talk it through. A bit, yes. With the work I used to do, I'm no stranger to guilt and regret. Midway into my requisite sleep cycle is when it usually plagues me the most. With Anchoress Brunn, I know what we did was right. I know it saved lives. But we tricked her. Forced her to doubt her mind. You heard her. She's not just dissuaded. We broke her. And yet, such actions were par for the course for me in the past. When my remorse for Brunn rears its head, it will need to get in line. Yes, Southworth was complicit. And now she's dead. Well, one hopes. According to Anais, we greatly reduced the likelihood of that occurring. It's not zero, but completing the brain-off lowered the chance significantly. She seemed pleased that we listened to her concerns, so I've changed, apparently. Thanks to you. It's been a while since anyone gave me a good talking to like Anais did. And I'll admit your influence has been rather positive. I'm pleased with the path I'm on now. I didn't think this is what the plan had in store for me. I've been facing myself with the same zeal I face my enemies. With tidier results. Appreciate you taking the time to talk it over, Commander. Yes, dear? Anything on your mind?
Running with you reminds me of my old days with Zed. Oh yeah? Wasn't he? Even after everything that's happened, I would always up for a little bit. Sure thing. I trust you.
Injury. How may this unit assist? This unit is available to which member of the multiple warnings have been? This unit is ready to.
There's anything worse than my former fellow protectorate subjects, it's corporate toadies. Such as? Still too many corporate...
Oh, exactly.
Though I caught her rifling through my belongings earlier, and though I gave her a stern admonishment, she merely walked off and said I was a boot-licking slackwit. Well, next time, if she expects to get off without a multiple-hour lecture on the sanctity of an arbiter's property, she'll be sorely mistaken. Certainly. This speak freely.